One of our designers in the UK was having great difficulty working with this design as a base plan, and I'd like to use it as a way of showing how you might go about, in a sense, cleaning up the drawing. If we click in the layers palette, you can see lots and lots of layers have been used, and it's clear to me it's come from an architect. So the base plans come from an architect, but if we look at the blocks list, there are over 1,000 blocks in this particular file. So what was happening was, although our user could import the drawing, it wouldn't save and was difficult to work with. So how do we go about dealing with, it was an AutoCAD drawing originally, how do we go about cleaning it up? The main tool that I used was to run the Open Design Alliance file converter, and one first sets up an input folder. I've used the temp folder, and then an output folder. I've set as an input, I've put the troublesome drawing in the temp folder, and in the out folder I've said I'd like a 2007 ASCII DXF file. I've got a lot of choice here about which version to use, but I find 2007 works nicely. Then I'll just click and we'll run it. So that file's been processed, it's been checked, it's been audited. It should be able to be used without any particular difficulty. So I'll close from there and go back into gCADPlus. Then I'll start a brand new drawing, but I won't use any template. So for example, you go to label, we've just got the one layer there. And what I'm going to do is to use a tool that we've developed called DXF Tools In. We're going to suck in that DXF file, which was in the temp layer and in the out folder, and here we are, it's called York House, so we'll import it, and I'll zoom extents. So the layouts come in and so on. What I'm going to do is go to the model. So here's the drawing. It's currently called No Name. After a lot of looking around, when we used one of the tools, if it was an AutoCAD drawing initially, can we check whether gCADPlus can save it? And it says no, I can't. So why can't it save? If we go to blocks, it took me a lot of looking around, but we've found in the past that unusual block names can cause difficulties of this type. So I'm going down here and I'm scrolling down, and can you see here's a block called family dash 3 dashes 3 underscores dash 1400, and gCADPlus is saying no, I can't handle this. So what I've done is just rename, and I've renamed this one family, and I'll rename this second one, and I'll call it family 2. So we've taken those funny names out which we know in the past have caused some problems. We've adjusted gCADPlus and overcome some of them, but occasionally something like this will catch us out, and so we'll close. Then we'll use purge unused blocks that are in the drawing but are not actually being used, and that tool's now running, and it's removed 10 blocks and 1 layer and 1 text style. Hasn't made any major adjustments, but if I now save it, and I'll put it on the desktop, and we'll call it No Name, because gCADPlus, when you start a drawing in this way, creates no name as the file name, and we're going to save it and we'll close it. One of the problems our developer was having was he couldn't save and then reload it. So we'll now try again, opening it up, and there we are. We now have a drawing that we can work with. So considerable time and effort was expended trying to get this drawing into a spot where a little quick test of the integrity of the original AutoCAD file can be run, and this one is running now. It's doing a check of the drawing and it says success. I can save it. It does save. We're not in the AutoCAD format. We've got away from it and it's gone now into the gCADPlus format. So it's just a little illustration of how you might go about trying to deal with a troublesome drawing. We hope it doesn't happen very often, but do be wary of getting a base plan that's got some very odd block names in it and just rename them.